Hey everybody, we're going to do a couple of these problems just to review with you how we can add, subtract, and multiply polynomials. So let's look at number 1. I have 14x to the 5th minus 7x cubed plus 6x squared plus x plus negative 4x cubed minus 16. Now notice here this is a plus. That means we are adding the polynomials. So step 1, I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite without parentheses. When we are adding, the first step is just writing it again and taking away the parentheses. So everything else is exactly the same. Step 2 is rearrange like terms by decreasing power. So I'm looking at my exponents. Which exponents are the highest? Because those are going to go first. So the highest exponent that I see is 5. So I'm going to write 4x to the 5th first. The next highest exponent I see are 3. So now I'm going to write minus 7x cubed minus 4x to the 3rd. And then the next highest exponent I see is 6x squared, the 2. The 2 is the next highest. And then what I have left is x. So I'm going to write x and the constant, the number, which is 16. Now moving on to step 3, we're going to combine like terms. So combining like terms means combining the ones that have the same variable and same exponent. So this is x to the 5th. There is no other x to the 5th. So I'm just going to copy that down. The next one is x to the 3rd power. So I can combine these two values. Negative 7 and negative 4 will give me negative 11. Then I have x squared. There is no other x squared. So it's just 6x squared. I have x. There is no other, just x. And I have negative 16. There is no other number to combine it with. So this is our answer in standard form in decreasing power. So in number 1, we're adding. Let's look at one where we're not adding. In number 3, I have negative 5x cubed plus 6x plus 8 minus 2x cubed minus 6 plus 2x squared minus 6x. So this is very similar to the last one we just did, but this one is subtraction. When we subtract, we need to distribute the negative. So that negative we have here is now going to go to each of these 4 terms when I rewrite it without parentheses. So we're still following the same step that we did in the previous problem, where we rewrite it without parentheses. But when I write the second part here, I have to distribute the negative. So some things are going to change when I do that. I'm going to have minus 2x cubed plus 6 minus 2x squared plus 6x. So when I subtract, step 1 does 2 things. We rewrite it without parentheses and we distribute the negative. Step 2 is still going to be rewriting it from the highest exponent to the lowest. So my exponents that I see here are 3 and 3, 2, and then the ones that don't have exponents, there are invisible ones there. So I want us to remember that those are there. So the highest exponent is 3, so I'm going to write negative 5x cubed minus 2x cubed. And then the next highest is squared, the 2, so minus 2x squared. Then we have 6x and 6x, so plus 6x plus 6x. And then the last terms we have not accounted for are the constants 8 plus 8 and plus 6. Now that it is in order, we are going to combine like terms. The like terms should now be next to each other if they do have like terms. So negative 5x cubed minus 2x cubed is negative 7x cubed. there is no other x squared, so minus 2x squared, I just copy that down again. I have 6x and 6x, that's going to give me 12x, and then 8 and 6 are going to add up to be 14. And now my answer is in standard form. We're also going to review number 9. Simplify by using the distributive property. The distributive property is another word for multiplication. It's just a specific way to do it when we multiply a number with things that are added or subtracted together. So when I multiply here, I'm going to distribute our 7 to x and 3. I have 7 times x plus 3. So that means I'm going to have 7 times x plus 7 times 3, which will give me 7x plus 21. So that is simplifying by distributive property. So we've seen adding, we've seen subtracting, we've seen multiplying when it's something simpler like this. Now let's look at one last one. So let's look at one last one, number 14. I have x plus 7 times x minus 4. So this is multiplication. When I am doing this, I'm going to put one of these in parentheses on one side, so x plus 7, and the other one on the other side, x minus 4. Now we're going to start filling in the boxes. So in our rectangle, our generic rectangle, we have x times x here. I'm going to put x squared. Here I have 7 and x, so that's 7x. Here I have x times negative 4, so here I'm going to have negative 4 times x. And then the last square is multiplying 7 and negative 4, which is negative 28. Once I filled out my boxes by multiplying them together, I'm going to now combine everything inside. So I'm going to write x squared plus 7x plus negative 4x plus negative 28. And then we're going to combine like terms just like what we did with adding and subtracting. For x squared, there's no other x squared, so I'm just going to copy that down. But for 7x and negative 4x, I can combine that. That's going to give me 3x and then minus 28. And this is our answer in standard form. Now this is doing it using the generic rectangle or box method. I can also do it by using the distributive property. And there is a way to remember how to multiply this out. And that method is called FOIL. And it's called FOIL because F stands for first. That means I'm going to multiply the first terms, x and x. O stands for outside. So I'm going to multiply the numbers outside, x and negative 4. So that's negative 4 times x. I stands for inner, the two values inside. So that's 7 times x. And then L stands for last, the numbers that are last in the parentheses. So that's 7 and negative 4. Now that I have those filled in, I'm just going to multiply out each term. X times x is x squared. Negative 4 times x is negative 4x. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. And then we are going to combine like terms. X squared. Negative 4x plus 7x should give us 3x. And then we have negative 28. And then we have our answer in standard form. And whatever I get on this side should match what I have on the other side. If that's not happening, then we need to double check our work and see if there's something happening above that's not working out.